week so far? Well, this should be an amazing culmination as we'll plunge restful or break away from the routine. They're excited. But if you're doing the Lord's work, then that's just another work day. But regardless of your reality, I believe that you should be excited to be alive and hopefully working towards a purpose. We begin hard, as we always do, with the big stories. There are some headlines that are worthy of your attention, but more importantly, your reaction. NUPENG and Dangote clash again. That means there just might be another strike. If you're just hearing this, take your gallon and go to the filling station. So when I drove past the one closest to where I live, it was still dispensing. You never can tell. Dangote can say what he's not supposed to say and NUPENG have it. No, for the next months. Well, panic buying is not it's something I might do. Closet. Okay, warns of alarming increase in drug abusers in Rivers. Resident doctors begin a day warning strike today. Has cleared for associations to proceed their bid for political party registration. That means very soon we're going to have 14 extra political parties, including the world famous Ada. You remember Ada? Yes, she finally made it through. At 4 o'clock, we'll be analyzing the emergency rule, looking through the timeline, the 6-month timeline. Question is simple. What are the legacies of the emergency rule? And we'll look at some of the biggest achievements, some of the biggest headlines that made its way to the news through the 6 months. And well, of course, there will be scrutiny of Ibasi's administration. At 5 o'clock, we talk aviation. Air Peace crew have been tested positive for alcohol and drugs. They put out a statement, but I'll be speaking with an expert in the aviation sector telling us what punishment should follow these kinds of offenses. 6 brings the major news. After that, it's open season. Where else be but here? Stay with us. Culture. The fruits between NUPENG and the $20 billion Dangote refinery broken down, sparking a fresh industrial dispute that could threaten fuel. Well, according to newsmen, NUPENG had accused the refinery of reneging on an agreement to tankers and other workers to freely unionize. NUPENG President William Operations defied resolution reached November 9th meeting in Abuja. That meeting, witnessed by Labour Minister, NLC, TUC, and other agencies, had affirmed the rights of tanker drivers to belong to NUPENG. The group has put out a statement. State membership is voluntary, not mandatory. That means the truckers can decide to be a part of unions or refuse to. The company stated this in a release on responding to describe extortion by the Nigerian of Petroleum and Natural Gas work concerning its trade relations workers. The refinery stressed it does not interfere with or restrict employees' right to freely join legally unions. So that is insisting that he has done wrong. NUPENG, on the other hand, claimed that he did not stick conditions of the agreement. Now, the national question to ask at this point is, what was the agreement? Well, you and I are about to find out. And what I think to stress it does not interfere with or restrict employees' right to freely join conditions. That means you and I might not be able to buy petrol again. And while it's selfish, you have to think, what does this mean for me? Do I go back to Egypt? I mean that in good terms. If you're Egyptian listening, there's nothing wrong with your country. Okay, so once again, Dangote reaffirmed that union membership is voluntary in line with Nigeria Constitution and ILO conventions. The company denies forcing drivers or workers to sign contracts. He insists that it supports legitimate union activity on site. NUPENG argued the MOU agreed on employees of the refinery who are willing to unionize to be allowed to do so. Dangote has breached that by instructing truck drivers who are long-standing NUPENG tanker drivers to remove union stickers from their trucks. That's the. They say Dangote ordered trucks with union stickers to load complaints over flouting of basic rules and that union officials were prevented from doing what the agreement required. So because of the alleged breaches, NUPENG has threatened to resume its industrial action. The problem now is I'm at work and I will not leave here till 7. Please, NUPENG, just wait. Let me get home. On my way back, I promise, I will buy fuel. What did the MOU say? The MOU signed after mediation calls for unionization of employees, and this is the important part, who want to unionize. They did not say all truck drivers go and join union. According to what is in the public space, they say any trucker that decides that, I like the color of NUPENG, their logo is something I've always wanted on my truck. The way they move, I want to move like that. They are very free to. But those who do not want to, do not have to. So it's at the volition of the truckers. It is not mandating that all must join, but those employees who choose to join should be allowed to, with no victimization. The agreement also mandated, obligated, forced, insisted, shouted at. What other way can I express that something was made compulsory? That Dangote should begin the unionization process immediately and complete it within a specific time frame, which is between the 9th and the 22nd of September 2025. Today is the 12th, if you have not looked at the calendar. So that means that timeline, rather that time frame, that window is still open. So I wonder how Dangote has already breached when they have not gotten to the end. Or maybe he hasn't started. Now, where things are murky, whether what Dangote is calling voluntary is being interpreted by the union as obstructing the spirit of agreement. You see, because it's about what you call a thing and what it is. I can say, for example, in my home, I give all my kids of various genders equal rights. The boys go to school, the girls go to school. What the boys can do, the women can do. To me, that's equity. Then you come to my house, you now see that the day everybody finished eating, it was only the girls that cleared the plates. Meanwhile, the boys just relax, carry pillow, hold toothpick, say that it answer. He said, no, I did not see equity in that home. Why me, the father, the one paying school fees and house rent, say, is it not my home? So are you sure that NUPENG is not interpreting a move by Dangote as suggestive of victimizing truckers? You and I don't know. Because at this point, everybody insists that they are right. NUPENG say no way. Dangote also say no way. But there has to be a way. So, if they are unable to resolve this second time, well, we get to bear the brunt. Because, as always, we are the ones. We always are the ones. In between the middle of the center. Moving from that to other important things. The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency in Rivers State says drug abuse is spreading to every corner of the state. Assistant Commander of Narcotics, James Awoji, told correspondent Martha Okere that areas like Borokiri, known as Abuja Down, are hotspots. He listed cannabis, cocaine, and crystal meth among the substances being abused, warning that more women are now involved. My goodness, did you hear that? Our women, our daughters, mothers, sisters, possibly a few aunties, maybe 1 or 2 grandmothers are now doing things.
Both streets and even in their houses, they do these drugs. Because of the fact that they know that they are making quick money from it, they go into it. The commoners are the youths, even in schools. The men are making money from it. Because of that, they also introduce the female ones into it. And that's why when the female one gets into the drugs, they even want to take it more than the men because of the anxiety that is involved.
Mr. Waji, are you sure they're the ones that introduced the female ones? You know, by design, by default, everybody just assumes boys are the bad ones. And I'm not trying to be funny here. There's a documentary on a global icon, a superstar, that was very famous. And everybody claimed that it was the man in her life that introduced her to taking drugs. Of course, drugs eventually ruined her career. But investigators later realized, findings that came out after her death, that the man was even trying to pull her out. She was the one that was entering. But of course, it's easy to call the man a bad name, so you can kill him. But the point is, it's not good for anyone. Male, it's not what he said. Alarm about drug dealers moving their trade online. Wow, it's now online trading. Using dispatch riders for deliveries, he insists dispatch riders have the right to question the packages they carry.
Most of them, because they give them more money, they don't care to check. Most of them also know what they are carrying. But ignorance won't be an excuse. Already you are involved. So I'm advising them to be careful with the messages they are taking. Some will even wrap it like shawarma. You go and in the name of delivering shawarma to the next point, you are helping the guy to deliver drug. So I will advise them to be very careful and ask questions before they take any message.
All right, so this is a menace. It's an epidemic, possibly a pandemic at this point. The damage that drugs can do and have done to families, I think we just can't record enough of it. If you allow family members of survivors give you their harrowing details, right, you would understand that these people have known pain. And there should be no discrimination. Male, female, if anybody is hooked on it, there's need for an intervention for rehabilitation. And the NDLEA, being an enforcement agency, should swing to action. But based on the data available to them, they are now saying that more women are hooked on this. And it is problematic. While I'm not putting any gender above any other, women are usually the last frontiers holding the fabric of any society. Believe it or not, they can be considered the Ministry of Defense. And this is regardless of race, ethnicity. It's not African women, American women. Whatever country you go to, most women are the last frontiers holding the fabric of that society. And I say, Sam, what do you mean? Well, most men are builders, but the women are the guardians. And like I said, I want to say this many times because there's always doesn't get it. Don't fish is over. Because a lot of times when the men considered bad influence, bad boys, the ones that their head is strong, have lost it, it is usually the women in their lives that are important to them. Mother, girlfriend, wife, fiance, possibly sister, that has a way of pulling them back. If that woman now has not entered, it's over. If women are losing, what happens? Everybody gets off it. But if NDLEA is specifically saying, with the women we are seeing here, this thing is beginning to look like August meeting, then there's a problem. And speaking about online delivery, well, businesses are going online. Yes, of course, the drug dealers have to get on the wagon. I won't be shocked if next time he says they're now using AI. I don't know how they will do it, but the technology is there, so businesses would want to leverage existing technologies. Moving from that, the National Association of Resident Doctors have started a nationwide strike following the expiration of a 24-hour ultimatum handed to the federal government. Resident doctors are medical school graduates training as specialists. On September 1, NARD issued a 10-day ultimatum to relevant government agencies to meet its demands. That ultimatum was extended by 24 hours on September 11. Speaking to newsmen on Thursday, the president of the association, Tope Osundara, said the industrial action will start today if the government does not engage the association in productive discussions. Osundara added that the demands revolve around, welfare, issues of shortage of manpower in almost all healthcare centers and facilities. It's the same thing. It's a recurring decimal. The same reason they went on strike the last time and the time before that and the time before that. Apparently, the doctors are speaking the government's only known language, industrial action, strike. Because every time that people want to talk and take government to that round table, the government is not in the mood. Then what happens? We now go on strike. Government now say, no, it never reached like that. They say, we are working on something. The good thing is, and this is just for a short period, this one is a warning strike. Meaning that they are telling government, within this time frame, do something. An example I like to use is when I was in secondary school. I went to a boarding school. And then I've learned the hard way that the quality of education was better. So we used to have, to a large extent, constant power supply in school. And what I mean by that is the generators were working very well. The school was properly funded at the time. So when we go for prep and it's time to turn off the generator, if NEPA has not seen us that day, the guy who turns off the gen would first turn it off. So there's darkness in the whole school because that's at night. Then turn it back on. You see, when he brings it back on, everybody now shout, warning, warning. He leaves it on for a short period so that whatever you're doing, if you're not in bed yet, use that small light and arrange yourself. If you're not in your hostel, you start running. Because that warning doesn't last for too long, maybe 5 minutes. And when it goes off again, that's it for the night. So resident doctors have done the same thing to federal government. They are giving warning. They've off the gen. Now they've put it back on, telling government, this window that we have left open is closing. And when it closes, that's it for the night. Federal government, it's your call. I know it's not easy. I know there's no money. I know your hands are tied. I know we are borrowing from whoever is willing to borrow us. But inside that money, find these doctors something. They deserve it. Also, the fact that our politicians are living the way they do, it doesn't make anybody believe that there's no money. So it's either the money is used judiciously or all those stealing money should start hiding it. They shouldn't let people know that they are living lavish. Thank you very much. It's time to hear from you. 08179230002. 08179230003. WhatsApp is 080-903-0646. The next headline is that INEC has cleared 14 associations to proceed in a bid for political party registration. So we're getting 14 new political parties. Join the list. 0817-923-0002. 0817-923-0003. As always, you have 60 seconds, I believe, that you can express yourself, the entirety of your opinions within that time frame. So keep it short, sweet, and simple. For me, the agreement signed by both NUPENG and Dangote is for both of them to keep acting like they are fighting while the price of fuel increases. I don't trust both parties involved. Brightner from Woji. Right? I hope you're not right. I hope so, because I'm not in the mood to buy fuel for 1 naira more. Alex calls from Onega. Hello, Alex.
Good afternoon, Sam Chinedu.
Good afternoon.
Straight to issue of Dangote and
Okay.
NUPENG.
Yep.
I think Since Dangote refinery come on stream, we have not gotten it easy at all. But I would rather take Dangote and NUPENG to please save Nigerian masses from our bitter experience. This is petroleum sector. If the breathing of air that God gives us free happen to enter into another man's hand in this Nigeria, I think we are gone for. Please, for once, let them help the poor masses. Sam, thank you.
Alex, hold on. Oh my, I had a question for Alex. Ida calls from Nkoro. Hello, Ida.
My brother, good evening.
Good afternoon, good evening.
NUPENG and Dangote is not our problem.
The
Minister of Petroleum, Bola Tinubu, is our problem. Let him bring fuel down to 200 naira per liter. Everything will come to better in Nigeria. Please, I'm begging him. Nothing this man is doing with money. This man has a lot of money, but he's suffering Nigerians. Once he reduces fuel, everything will come normal. I'm pleading them, not for strike, please. People will die. Thank you, my lovely brother. I remain on the phone.
Well, Ida, while I would challenge your thought process, the truth is, if you really simplify it, it's about bringing the price down. But you also have to think about what it takes to bring it down. There are factors of production. Nobody just says, you know what, let's sell it for 20 naira. There are reasons why it is 20 naira. Right? And yes, we're not importing anymore, so it should be cheaper. But still, there are reasons why it is pegged at a particular price when all things have been considered. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Sam.
Good afternoon. What's your name?
Obed Chima. I'm calling from Port Harcourt.
Obed, please turn off your radio.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Go ahead.
Yes, Mr. Sam, NUPENG and Dangote. I think NUPENG, they are usurping powers that they don't have. Because I'm surprised how you want to coerce somebody to force his workers to come and join your union. The last time I checked, ASU in the lecturers in university, we have also lecturers in private university. I have not seen where ASU going to private university to coerce lecturers in those universities to come and join them. I'm not getting it at all. You understand? Over the years, Nigerians have suffered because of refinery. We don't have any. Now somebody built a refinery. We had NUPENG then. All this was his workers to come and join the union. I don't understand what it meant that he was bringing about 4,000 trucks or thereabouts. I know how NUPENG, Petran, all of them, they kick against this thing. I don't know if they want Nigeria to remain the way it is. Because to me, it seems to me that some people, all they want is to continue to fight. They're claiming as if they are fighting while the people are suffering for them to remain relevant. So NUPENG must tell us whatever be the issue that they want to take over everywhere because they want their power. They want whatever. Each time they go on strike, Nigerians should suffer. If you quarrel with their wife, they are going on strike.
Okay.
They want something like to continue. So I'm urging them to say not to look their face. Let them go to strike. Let us see.
I beg. Oh,
Thank you.
I beg. See why? I need to fill my tank today. Okay. So you're blaming NUPENG. Okay. For me, the agreement signed. Okay, I've taken this from Brightner. Oracle Dangote simply writes, union membership is voluntary. Then again, why has NUPENG failed to show the same zeal and resilience to demand our national refinery facilities work? They are out on a deliberate mission to frustrate the momentary leverage we're getting from Dangote on price distribution. I guess they're not happy. That's from Kanu. I think at this point, the truck drivers would have to speak because NUPENG claims it's fighting for the rights of the drivers. Dangote says he has not forced the same drivers to join union. So let them come out and talk. Waiting you see, did Dangote beat you? What did he do? Is he infringing on your rights? Do you want to join union? Because it's like parents who are divorced or separating, fighting for custody of their kid. At some point, someone should ask the child, who do you want to follow? Mike calls from Aba. Hello, Mike.
Hello, Sam.
Good afternoon.
My name is Mike.
Yeah, go ahead.
NUPENG can bring all the trouble where for long time we dey suffer to get refinery. The minister of minister of petroleum, and one person go dey take am. Any person wey come say I rule this country, he take the minister of the petroleum. Where they do best and then then be the trouble because there's no no truck driver complain, and then just force those people because everything for this country is politics. Let them go and sit down, leave those drivers because it's a private sector. Let them manage that place because there's no. If you not say you no one work there, you resign, you come out yourself. They go work for Nigeria government. That is what they are saying, and let them leave Dangote alone because that man is trying to bring fuel down, then bring problems before. I don't see why they come put their hand to come force those people to become junior. I'm happy. We are young. They carry us go down. I know jealous, but let them go then to sit down.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mike from Abba. Robin calls from HA. Hello, Robin.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Happy rainy day. Happy weekend to you.
Okay, that's a new one. Happy rainy day to you too.
They are trying to be very funny. Nigerian government since 1999 has crossed 24 years and they are unable to build a new refinery. Have been patching the old ones. Yet to no avail. A man woke up, built a refinery within 7 years, and it's up and running. And a body called Sam NUPENG are coming to talk. The man has a refinery, bought his own CNG trucks, about 4,000, employed about 4,000 workers with 4,000 motorboys to send his fuel to all the nooks and crannies of Nigeria. NUPENG is coughing. The president of NUPENG that we speak today, can you, as a journalist, as protected by Nigerian Constitution and Chapter, in Section 20, to tell him to call his company's name? He doesn't have any company. He wants to hold Nigeria to jugular. Nigerian government should hold a responsible if anything happens to those trucks. That will be rolled out in the next few days. For the doctors, the whole down the country, they do people. That is the situation we find ourselves. We cannot continue in a country where leaders don't show respect to people. Let me leave us that call. And the NDLEA, how many of the people are there?
All right, Robin, there were problems at some point and it never got better. Well, thank you for sharing your thoughts. A couple of minutes left on the clock. Let's do justice to messages. For now, Dangote seems to be fighting for the masses, but after a long time, I know where the game will lead, monopoly and nothing else. Well, the truth is, monopoly is not good for you and I, but it's always good for the businessman. And if you were a businessman, you would love to be a monopolist, because why not? Well, we need a healthy competition. That's the truth. Sam, if by next week the emergency rule ends in River State, I won't miss anything about it, because retired Vice Admiral Ibokete Ibas did not do ZILT when he was here. Okay, well, that's a conversation for 4, so that's a bit too early. Sam, this fight is not about unionism. It's the criminal-minded marketers using NUPENG to fight Dangote. Sam, if not Dangote fuel, do you know how much fuel would have been sold in this country? Let them leave Dangote for us. Felix from Transamadi. Felix, I hope you maintain this energy in a few years. If Dangote suddenly becomes the villain in the minds of the people, of course, if that's the perception. NUPENG has been politicized. Thanks, Oracle, and good evening. Mickey simply says from Iwofe. Hector says, why is it that it's only political parties, interest groups, and politicians that like taking matters to court whenever there's disagreement? Why is NUPENG and Dangote not settling their matter in court, but always want the public to suffer the consequences of their quarrel all the time? Hector is asking. Let's see, can I squeeze in one call? Oh, my. Hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
What's your name?
I am.
Can you do it in 1 minute?
Hello, can you hear me?
You have less than a minute.
Allow Nigerians to breathe. And I feel that the DSS should be able to deal decisively with any NUPENG members that call for any strike. They should be able to the court it. Organization ought to do right. So what was this?
Apologies, Braid. The network has other plans. Coming up now, after that, I'll take more of your...
Give you a great blend of all. Local or foreign, we've got you covered.
Blackouts across Nigeria as national